I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and a couple of weeks ago, and the owner of this stabilizer is probably going to say it's been 4 weeks, sent me this stabilizer and he said, Stephen, can you tell me what you think of this stabilizer I've made? I'm thinking about selling it. Now I haven't had much time, and he sent me a message and said, can you please send it back to me? So I'm going to try and do this video and send it back. But when you look at a product for reviewing and thinking about purchasing a product, there's 2 big factors which come to determine whether you buy a product, in my opinion. One is the price. It's no use making a $300 stabilizer or buying a $300 stabilizer if your budget is $50. So the first thing that's going to be really important is the price point, because if this stabilizer is expensive, i.e. $300, and your budget is a beginner setup, you're not going to be interested in it. So price point to me, when reviewing a product and considering a product, price is everything. It's the first thing a customer says when he comes into the shop. This is my price, this is how much I want to spend. And then you go and say, okay, we've got these products at this price point, and you compare them. So the next thing you look at is how the product's made, basically how it performs against other products at a similar price point. Now I've got no idea what the price point is of this stabilizer, so we can't compare it on a price point, but we can certainly look at the stabilizer and see how it compares. Now the first thing he said to me, the person who made the stabilizer, was I think it's more suited for a recurve than a compound, because, or it might be the other way around, because he said a recurve you want to have more flexibility in the stabilizer, and you want your compound one to be more rigid. Now I don't know about that. I really don't know. Now the reason you want your compound stabilizer to be rigid is because you're putting a whole stack of weight down the end here, and basically you need to be rigid to stop it bouncing. Now with a recurve, you generally don't have a lot of weight down the end here, so you don't need it to be as rigid. So with a compound, if you don't have much weight here, you don't need it to be that rigid. So to me, that was not a factor. It was more about how this thing felt, what it was like, how it was built. Now you'll see this is a very thin structured stabilizer. The ends here look like they're well kind of made. He's got a washer at the end. This looks nicely made, and he's got this dampener here. Now this looks like it's been made out of a 3D printer, and to me it looks kind of nice. He's put an end cap on his weights. The weights are detachable, and you can detach that from there. This thing here, I don't know if this is copied off someone, but it looks nice. I like the fact that he's made the ends here go out bigger, because I think they'll absorb more shock. So I like the fact he's got these little things in here to lock it in place. The alternative would have been to use a hex system here, use a spanner to tie it on, but this looks quite nice stabilizer to me. So it's quite rigid, not as rigid as something like the top end $400 stabilizers. It's kind of more like I'm going to say $100. It's better than a $100 stabilizer. So let's compare it and see how it performs. We'll start off with the recurve. Now I'm currently using a toe point stabilizer. The other stabilizer we're going to test is thinner, so less affected by wind. So it's going to say it's a better quality stabilizer than this stabilizer. It's only got 3 bits of weight on the end here. That's about what I shoot for recurve. So we'll just see how this feels compared to the other stabilizer. So this one feels quite good to me. There's no vibration coming down the end of it. It's not a bad stabilizer, and for the price point, this is about a $50 stabilizer. It's not a bad stabilizer. In fact, you'll see that I basically took off some of my more expensive stabilizers and fitted this because I thought it looked better, purely on looks, and it was cheaper. So I eventually sold off my expensive stabilizers at a far greater price than I paid for these. So the first thing I'm going to say is this doesn't look as good as the red. And the reason I went for the toe point stabilizer was purely on looks. There are some nice stabilizers made. Wow, that silver is shiny. There's some nice silver stabilizers made from Shrewd for the recurve bow. They're quite expensive and they're quite thin. So this stabilizer's got more weight down the end. Now it's got a dampener down the end, which I'm going to say is better than the toe point dampeners. It's softer. So I think I'll probably feel a little bit less shock with the recurve. But there's clearly too much weight down there. But I do like the way he's built the dampener. Like I said, I don't know if it's copied or not. I've never seen anything like it. It looks like a nice dampener. I'd have no issue using it. And if it's been made on a printer, I think he should make them in different colors to suit the target archer. So that feels better. That's a less shock. It's not that the toe point was bad. It just felt more dead than the toe point. So I'm going to say his stabilizer that he's produced is a better stabilizer than the toe point one. Now it's made the bow quieter as well. So when I compare this stabilizer to others for recurve, now I think I've shot all the recurve stabilizers. This is definitely good. So if this was a $300 stabilizer like the Shrewd, this is clearly just as good and feels just as good to shoot to me as that. It's just as thin. It's a nice product. The problem you're going to have marketing this stabilizer is there are top shooters shooting the Shrewd product. They're getting paid to shoot it. So you're going to be up against the competition as far as, well, the top shooter in the world is shooting this product and they are paying him to shoot this product. To get the name of this product out, and I'm going to say what is the name of the product, it's there on the end of it, Archery Labs. It's a good system, and this here should be colored. I really like the fact that it goes out wider. I know I've said that before, but I think that absorbs more shock. So this is the super focus I just shot. This is the dead center, and you can see that this stabilizer is actually thinner than the dead center. You can see the dead center doesn't go out wide. I think the dead center should go out wide here for the weight. So I'm liking this, but I do like the dead center as far as the red and black because it matches my new bow. And the Icon X stabilizer from Dead Center is one of my favorite stabilizers. So we're just going to compare, and obviously I didn't shoot that one, but we're just going to compare this with the compound now. So now when it comes to compound stabilizers, the stabilizer is important the more weight you put on it. Now really for the amount of weight I shoot down the end, you're going to say how much weight are you shooting? I'm shooting less weight now, but I'm going to add more weight on. So where do I want to get to? Maybe 18 ounces down the front end. I don't know how many I've got down there now, but that's probably where I want to get to, 18 ounces. I need a higher quality stabilizer for that. Would I get away with this stabilizer with 18? I don't know. I'm just comparing this stabilizer to the Dead Center one. The weight's about the same. You can see it's perfectly balanced. So I'm just going to have a shot and see how this feels compared to the Dead Center. Now the Dead Center is about a $300 stabilizer, and in my summary it was one of the best stabilizers made. And you're going to say, well, there's a whole bunch of good stabilizers, and there are. The Eastern Helicron I've shot, really liked it. I've been told the new Dead Bee Stinger Micro Hex is a good target stabilizer. I haven't shot it yet, but the Dead Center is the best one I've shot to date. So this is coming 1-to-1 straight up against what I consider to be the best stabilizer. That was very good. I felt no vibration back. That was actually really good. So once again, like, I'm comparing, I don't know the price of this stabilizer, but I'm comparing it to a $350 stabilizer. Now I'm going to zoom back, and you can see down the end. So it feels great to shoot. I'm hoping you'll be able to see the end of this stabilizer when I take the shot, because when I shoot the shot, you'll see vibration down the end. Now, the vibration afterwards is not a major factor because it's after the shot, but I can definitely feel the vibration coming through afterwards. Now, some of that will be through the position of the dampener. Now, if I move the weight back and put the dampener further forward, you get less of that vibration. But just have a look at it. See the vibration after the shot? So when I tested how much this stabilizer flexed, it flexed more than the dead center icon. So it was softer. So in my opinion, this stabilizer is thinner than the dead center, and it's not as rigid, so it's not as stiff as the dead center. I do like the rubber thing down the end, the dampener. So I'm going to say that this stabilizer is not as good as the dead center, but it's not bad. It's a pretty good stabilizer. I don't know how to be with a whole pile of weight down the end. It's definitely better than the $100 stabilizers as far as how stiff it is, but it's not as good as the Helicron. I think that's probably a $400 stabilizer. Dead center is probably a $350 stabilizer. This is Australian dollars. But it feels pretty good to shoot. I like the dampener that he's built, or he's brought. I'm not sure what it is, but overall I think he's produced a good quality product. I think the issue is going to be how he markets it, whether he can add color here to the anodizing. I think it'd be good. And I think one of the big problems with Archery is volume, which is how many of these are you going to sell. Now, he's an Australian guy based in WA, small state, and Australia is a small market. So when you produce a product, you've got to tap into Europe, tap into England, you've got to tap into the US. Huge issues in doing that. But he's produced a nice product. And he'd have to come up with pricing on it. In fact, I'd like to try this without the dampener. So just give me a sec. Dampener off. And we're just going to try the shot with the dampener off. So I think I'll feel more vibration at the physical shot, but there'll be less vibration, I think, through the stabilizer at the end. Yeah, and that's basically what happened. Oh, that wasn't tight down there. I could hear a rattling. And that's basically what happened. So taking the dampener off reduces the vibration afterwards, but you feel a little bit more shock at the shot. So if that makes any sense. So when you shoot the shot, it's smoother, but then you get more of the vibration because the dampener's, the end of it's vibrating. So what you do is you split this weight, move some behind the bar and move some forward. Now if this rubber dampener was harder, I think it's good for recurve. If it was stiffer for compound, it would probably be better. But overall not bad. I like his design too, so yeah, pretty good. But I think when you're designing products for archery, such a huge, well, probably designing any product, such a huge impact about how much you sell the product for, how you back it up, how you distribute it, how you promote it, whether you give stuff away to regular shooters, whether you sponsor a world archer, and how much you pay that world archer to shoot your product, how you brand that product. For me, it's just totally amazing. But anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and that's the Archery Lab Stabilizer. Nice stabilizer. I don't know the price. I don't know if he's produced any more, but nice product overall, and I wish him the best with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.